I'm Jared Allen, and I'm going to be raking some of my monumental sacks.
Sack. That's a great sack. Jared Allen sacked it back in Packer territory.
What my perfect sack looks or feels like when you come around the edge and you hit the quarterback and you don't feel the impact. It's like hitting a sweet spot on the golf ball, and you just hear and feel their breath come out. They make it like a grunt. When you hit them, they disappear. There's something glorious about it. It makes me smile now.
Welcome back to Minneapolis, everyone. The Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome.
This one is one of my favorite of all time because not only was my first sack as a Viking, it was my first sack against Peyton Manning. First and only sack against Peyton Manning. And I'd hit Peyton quite a few times.
Jared Allen with his first sack of the year, last year's NFL sack leader.
Second game of the year, so everybody was probably expecting me to have like 3 sacks right when I got here out the gate. And so it was just nice to get that first one and get going. Oh, yeah. Well, Donald Penn and I have always had a very tumultuous playing relationship. He's aggressive. I like that. I took him on an inside move, and I didn't really appreciate the extra. I'd slip, I tried to turn the corner, slip, and he's sitting there trying to drive me in the ground in the back. I'm like, dude, like, don't be a tough guy once I'm on the ground. Like, it plays over. So he was trying to be a little extra. We got into it. I knew I couldn't punch him.
Right there that Allen objected to. Okay, you pushed me down, but you don't have to jump on me.
Well, I hit him in the face mask. I would have liked to have just had a full-on fight. That would have been great. But you're trying not to get thrown out of the game. There was no doubt we were going to have bull rushing. I knew exactly what he was going to do.
Freeman. They got to him. Jared Allen.
And I just had to show him that he was what I said he was.
Who didn't know that was going to happen?
Not as good as me.
Great jump by Allen. Here it comes. He's got it. Sack number 22.
My 22nd sack, and that was the kind of a twofer game, right? So everybody thinks I was trying to break the Vikings sack record or the NFL sack record. The reality was I was in a very tight race for the sack lead for the NFL that year. And I was sitting at 18 and a half going into this game. In any year, 18 would clearly lead the NFL in sacks. Not this year, there was 3 of us right in that row. And so you never go into a game saying, I need 4 sacks to break the NFL sack record.
Stops working. Always coming at the quarterback.
I don't know, I'm either gonna fail miserably. It's either gonna be the worst game of my life or the best game of my life. It was just one of those feelings. I was like, I don't know, things are gonna get weird. I don't know. And it got weird in the right direction. It was one of those games you wish just wouldn't end.
Crazy right now for this guy.
That's great on Chris Doleman's part too. Everybody that says
Being able to break that record, to be able to have Chris there was something really special, to be able to share that with him in that moment, especially because he's no longer with us anymore, which really sucks. Because I know I tried to get out of training camp to go to his Hall of Fame induction, and Coach Frazier wouldn't let me. He told me Chris would rather have me at practice. I was like, that's such crap.
3rd and 10. Here comes Jared Allen, and he's out of bounds.
That's their fault for leaving me one-on-one.
But you just can't do that. You have to realize, and you can see him, he didn't even know he was out of bounds.
Now, again, Kevin, I like the precursor to this game, Kevin had, I think, 4 sacks in this game. I was just trying to keep pace with Kevin. I was just trying not to get outdone by a D tackle. So when I see him run out, I know I'm the closest, I know it's my sack, but I'm laughing and celebrating because I know how pissed Kevin's gonna be that I just picked up a cheap sack. So, he was gonna get sacked either way. The guys, I dusted that guy. He was going down either way.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Rodgers is sacked. Rodgers, Allen. 4.5 sack night, Jared Allen.
That guy right there is scary.
But this game was crazy though because I get a text from Brett. One of the only times I saw Brett be nervous. Hey, I need you on this game.
3rd and 5. Rodgers couldn't get away from that.
Right? And I was like, Brett, I got you. Don't worry about it. So Brett's either the greatest motivator or he was actually terrified. I'm not sure, but either way, he got me hyped.
Again, relentless with his pursuit. He was blocked, he was chipped. As Aaron Rodgers stepped up, Jared Allen pursued.
We were able to get out. It's one of those games that you don't want to end because everything you're doing is working. And the quarterback seems to be holding the ball forever. Aaron, obviously one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game, as he proved over time. And, there's nothing more fun we were laughing because I'm the only one doing what I was supposed to be doing. They were told to go down, shake everybody's hands, say hello, all that stuff. And then I was supposed to go stand in the middle, and then subsequently each one. But it kind of got rushed, and everybody was just talking, and then confetti went off in my face, and it startled me, and then I was trying to find my wife in the crowd, so I was looking for my wife in the crowd, and she's like, what are you doing? You're just the only one standing up there. I was like, I was where I was supposed to be. Everybody else was communicating, I was where I was supposed to be. Honestly, I'm probably gonna say my Hall of Fame selection, because without these other, sacks, without these other, experiences, without these other plays, like that never comes to fruition. And that was never my goal, is to be a Hall of Famer. I just wanted to be one of the best defensive players ever. 5 would have to probably be first sack with the Vikings against Peyton. Just because I don't think it had like a huge, tremendous impact on the game. I mean, it did from a standpoint, we won the game. It's the first of many, but yeah, I mean, if you go back and think about all the moments, that's probably one people don't remember that often. 4 is probably Orlovsky running out the end zone. Just because, again, we won that game. People love that sack because of how goofy it is. But I did smoke the guy, but it's a great rush. Probably 3 is probably the sack after the fight with Donald Penn. Just because, that was kind of like 2 gladiators going at it, with blood running down the face. It's kind of cool.
Freeman. They got to him. Jared Allen is the reason.
And to do it subsequently right after the big fight, we got our butts kicked that game. I think we were down like 30-17, so that sucked. But hey, he won the war, I won the battle in that moment. I'd like to go with my 4.5 sacks against Aaron Rodgers. And again, that was just another one. That was such an iconic year. The run we had in 09 was great. That was a special team. So, that could easily be number 1, too. And the reason I put number 1 as the 22 sack record-breaking year isn't because of the 22. It's because it was able to do it at home with Chris there, and then was able to, lead the league in sacks that year for the second time. And at that time, only DeMarcus and I were the only, I think no one had ever led 3 times. I still don't think anybody's ever led 3 times, right? There's only been a handful of us that led twice. Unfortunately, we were 3-13 that year, so that sucked. But it just felt like it was one of those magical games, and, for Chris to be there, and especially now, I think it means more to me now that he's not with us. For him to be there, and someone I respect so much of what his game was and who he was as a person, being able to share that moment with him, with our home crowd, and have that kind of that great moment, was pretty special.